So good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
You guys are doing well, eh?
Well,
Can I get a marker pen? Whiteboard marker. Anyone? Mm-mm. Is it writing?
yeah.
Okay. Thank you. So I'm grateful to see all of you in this early bird meeting today. And I can see some very, very new faces. And I want us to recognize these faces. So if you are new, if you know this is your first time to attend such a session, let me see you by show of hands. It's your very first time, you've never attended this session before. Oh, good. Just be on your feet. Let's give them a round of applause. Let's give them a round of applause again. Perfect. So I want you guys to introduce yourself. Just tell me your name, who your upline is, and how long you have been in business. You're welcome.
My name is Hilary Otieno.
Hilary Otieno,
Upline Douglas
Douglas?
Jivet.
Who is that? Oh, him. Okay, perfect. How long have you been in business?
For a few.
Oh, they are joining today. Oh, okay, perfect. Let's give him a round of applause. Welcome to the team. Perfect. Next gentleman. Douglas. Okay, okay. And Duncan? Oh, your plane is Duncan. Oh, perfect. How long have you been in business? 1 month. Where have you been? Do you live around Nairobi? Where do you live? Oh, Busia. Oh, good. Let's give this gentleman a round of applause. Good. Karibu sana. You're welcome. I'm the famous Silole Joseph. I don't know if I'm famous to you. Good. So today we're going to look into a topic that is common to all of you. A topic that makes people not to succeed into this business is called fear. It's called what?
Fear.
Not only this business, even in life. Fear is a topic, is something that most people have within them. And there are two meanings to fear. The first meaning of fear is forget everything and run. The second meaning to fear is face everything and rise. That is the second meaning to fear. So what is fear to you? Because sometimes, to me, fear means a redirection to your purpose or a redirection to the right thing that's supposed to be done. Sometimes fear means that to me. And when you're fearful, it means, sometimes actually means that you're being guided on what actual way that you should follow. But fear stops people from succeeding all the time. So the topic for today is simply no more fear. Tell your neighbor, no more fear.
No more fear.
Yes, no more fear. Because when you have a lot of fear, when you are being guided by fear all the time, it is very hard for you to succeed in any business. It's very hard for you to succeed in any way. So we're going to look at what is this, and let me begin by asking ourselves, who are we? Who are we in this business? Who we are in this business is that we are business builders who are making a living by showing people a business that can save or change their life. So it means we have what the people need. You don't need them for you to succeed, but they need you for them to succeed. Do you understand what I'm talking about? You don't need them for you to succeed, but they need you for them to succeed. So honestly, you know that this business can change somebody's life fully. And if you know that this business can change somebody's life, what should you do? You should present it to them with a lot of confidence, with a lot of conviction, because you know what exactly you are doing. So the challenge is that most people do not know that they need. And those who are good at conveying the information effectively can get very wealthy. We are educators. We take people from ignorance to understanding what business concept we are in. And that's who we are. So if you get very good at conveying this information effectively, you can become so wealthy in this business. So our job is to educate people and show people that they need this business and they need a certain product for them to change their life. And you know for sure the business and the product can change and can make their lives better in one way or the other. True or not true? Good. Now, So there is nothing to fear in network marketing. There is nothing that you should fear. But because we have what people need, we don't need them here, but they need us for them to have some time, financial, and health freedom. Because as I said, the network marketing industry or the network marketing business model is one of the smartest business model ever discovered by the mind of man. And so we need what people, we have what people need. And if you have what somebody need, you should convey the information, you should tell them that they need this with a lot of confidence. But the problem sometimes is that most people don't know that they actually need the business. They don't know that they should be needing the business because they have settled for something less than that. Maybe they have settled for a 9 to 5. They have settled for just a salary. They're okay with living a normal life of go to school, get good grades, get a good job, go to job, come back home, go to job, come back home, go to job, come back home for over 40 years. Then after that, they'll get a golden watch, a retirement one. But they don't know they can travel the world, they can take their family to 3 or 4 vacations every single year, they can drive a dream car, they can live in a dream house, they cannot live in multiple houses, they can have a constant residual income coming into their homes every single month and checks every single month. They don't know that, but we know that they need this. And so there is nothing that you should fear inside of the business. So let me start with the first common fear that most people have. And this fear is called fear of rejection. And the fear of rejection makes most people quit on the business within the first 90 days. If you see somebody who quit within the first 90 days of them being in business, there is something that had happened to them. And what had happened to them is that they were caught up with the fear of rejection. So fear of rejection is a common one. So what will happen if somebody says no to you? What is the possible things that can happen? The first thing, will they have a bodily harm on you? Will they have a physical harm on you? No. So if somebody says no to you, that you know what, you're showing me this, but I don't need it, I'm not interested, there is no bodily harm that can happen to you. The second thing is that what most people fear is an emotional punch in the gut. The emotions that are involved by somebody saying no to you is what most people fear. But they don't understand there is nothing much that can happen when somebody says no to you. There is nothing much that can happen. Nothing. No bodily harm. You won't lose a tooth. You won't lose an ear. What most people fear is an emotional punch in their gut. But there's a solution to this because you cannot avoid rejection, but there's something that you can do. The first thing you have to understand that our business is a numbers game. It is a numbers game. And the business is all going through a number, through a ton of numbers, through a large numbers. Our business is all about going through a large numbers. So if the business is a numbers game, it means you should move from one person to another. You should knock from one door to the next door. So you can avoid the no's, but you can frame them so that they can fuel instead of upsetting you. You cannot avoid the no's. You cannot avoid me. You cannot avoid what somebody will do to you. You cannot avoid their ignorance. You cannot avoid that. But you can understand how you can redirect their no's from upsetting you to now fueling you. So the no's can keep fueling you. Just like the story that is given by Les Brown of him moving from door-to-door sales. And I want to listen to his story. This is his story.
I used to do door-to-door sales, and I was working with another friend of mine. And door-to-door sales, I mean, it's punishing. It's cruel and unusual punishment. And I was a little boy knocking on a door. Hello, would you like to buy a nice working television set? No money down? No! Bam! They slammed the door in your face. And the friend of mine that was working with me, they slammed the door in his face, and I looked back and he was going to the car. He said, I can't do this. And he sat down in the car and he said, you go ahead, I'll be here when you get back. Now he had a mother and father to take care of him. My mother was ill. I am adopted. I was hungry. I had to go on. I learned something about myself. That when you step into your fears, somebody said, it was Winston Churchill, he said that courage is going from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. When you step into your fears and continue to push yourself to go on, something happens for you. It will enable you to transcend yourself. I went to the next door. You like to buy a nice working television? No! Bam! Went to the next one. No! Bam! After a while, I no longer took it personal. And I began to play a game. I said, well, I know there's a yes out here somewhere, and I'm going to keep on till I find it. And I'm not going home until I do. And I continue to knock on doors. And then somebody eventually would say yes. And I said, are you sure? And I would go in there and I would get the sale. When you have something you want to do, if you don't develop the courage to do that which has been given you to do, and you spend a lot of time going around trying to convince other people or trying to get their approval, what will happen is that you will lose your nerve. And other people will convince you that what you're doing doesn't have any value, and you'll give up on your dream.
Good. You see the message that Les Brown is trying to share? Yes. That you have to move from door to door, get the nose, and start playing a game. Because when he realized that when he was moving from door to doors, the doors were being banged at his face, what did he do? He decided, I'm going to play a game. And the game that we're playing here is a game of numbers. So he knew that very well there is a yes out there for him. And he was willing to knock door after door after door for him to get this yes that he was looking for. So let me tell you something, that there is always going to be someone who likes and wants your product in the marketplace. No matter what that product is, no matter what service that service is, there is always going to be someone who is going to be in love with that product or service. And also, on the other side, there's also going to be someone who is going to dislike it. Do you think Mercedes-Benz cares about who dislikes their cars or not? There are people who don't like it. There are people who can substitute other cars for Mercedes-Benz. There are people who prefer a BMW or prefer any other brand. But do you think Mercedes-Benz will stop producing more cars simply because of these 3, 4, 5, or 10, or 100, or 10,000, or these a million people who dislikes Mercedes-Benz? Do they stop producing their cars? No, they still keep on producing their cars. Why? Because they know very sure that there's somebody out there who needs their product. The same as you. There is somebody out there who is going to see sense in what you do. There's somebody out there who is looking for a better opportunity, and you're going to be the person who is going to save them from their misery. And so what do? Should you stop because somebody said no? Should you stop because somebody told you that what you're doing has no value? It's just their opinion, and everybody is entitled to their own opinion, but nobody is entitled to a fact. A fact is a fact. The fact that this TV is this, or the fact that this wall is this color, it will remain that same. Doesn't matter what your opinion is. Your opinion can be, it's ugly, doesn't look okay. That's an opinion, and everybody is entitled to an opinion that they want to make or a compliment, but nobody is entitled to a fact. Do you understand?
Yes.
Good. Now, that he decided he's going to play a game, and the game that we're playing here is a game of numbers. So you have to talk from one person to the next one to the other one. Can you imagine if today you open your shop, very good shop, and you decide to close that shop because one person came in and said that he dislikes the color of your office, or he dislikes the color of your products, or he thinks that your product is not going to be valid in the marketplace? You're going to be a loser at the end of the day. And that's what happens to most people within their first 90 days. They approach the first person in their business, in fact, a close person or somebody who they believe that this guy will not reject this business. I believe that this guy will be my perfect person for this opportunity. There are people who you believe that they will join you immediately. The moment the presentation was going on, the moment you are being shown the opportunity, and somebody was telling you that you have this person on the right and this person on the left, and you have to sponsor another person, there's somebody's name that came to your mind that day. But even after approaching them, they ended up to be the first person who discouraged you from doing the business. And what happens to most people? They quit, they stop, and they listen to them, and they go back to their previous lives. And this is the biggest fear that most people have. So what can you do with the fear of rejection? What is it that you can do? Just like Les Brown says, do not take it personal. He got to a place where he decided he is not going to take it personal. No personal, because if you are asking them to marry you, then they would be saying no to you. But if you're not asking them to marry you, they're not saying no to you. Their no is being asserted towards the business, not the messenger. They're not saying no to you because you're not asking them to marry you at the end of the day. What you're asking them to do is that I have an amazing opportunity, and this opportunity can help you make money. It can help you change your life, and not only your life, but the life of your family and for the other people. So if they say no to it, they are asserting that no to the business, not to the messenger. So don't take it personal. You understand? So don't take it what? Personal. Don't take it personal. It's business. And for me, I tell most people, when it comes to business, you leave your emotions outside the room. Because it works very well. If you leave your emotions outside the room all the time, outside the business room all the time, you're never going to be affected by any kind of rejections or any kind of emotional punch that you get from people that you show the opportunity. What else can you do? You can ignore the rejection rocket. Ignoring the rejection rocket is one of the best things that you can do. So look at a restaurant owner. A restaurant owner opens his restaurant, but there's still some cars that are ignoring the sign that he has put outside. That we have an amazing meal today, we have made this kind of meal today, and we want you to come and eat. So do you think the restaurant owner stands outside his window to look at the cars that are ignoring his signboard? No, he doesn't. They're just not hungry, or they don't like the style of his cuisine. That's all. So he doesn't stand there looking at the cars that pass by without checking at what he's doing. But what happens is a restaurant, moreover, that restaurant keeps opening up and keeps putting out their best product and let those who enjoy it indulge in their cooking. And a few satisfied customers will multiply. So you don't need everybody. You only need those who are in their right timing and are the right people that you're looking for. I can tell you for sure, when you came into the business, you saw how amazing the opportunity is. And that same picture that you saw is not everybody who is going to see that same picture. Others are going to see something so different from what you saw here, from what you saw on your first day of seeing the business. And so, what you need to understand is that you don't need everybody, but a few customers, a few people who will accept the message and they would want to do the business with you, and they are satisfied with what they are doing, they're going to multiply, and they're going to attract that same people. But the problem with most of us is that we're looking for everybody. You're not looking for everybody to be in your business. You're looking for somebody. So everybody has someone who you want to work with. Everybody has someone who is called a prospect profile. And this prospect profile is somebody who you want to work with. Because can you imagine when Jesus came here and he wanted to work with a few people, he wanted to work with about 12 of them. And he had some qualities he was looking for. And when he got these people, what happened? He started teaching them. He started preaching the message to him. And even after him teaching them all this time, some people also rejected him, others betrayed him, others sold him to his enemies, and there are people who went through the same process with the others. And Jesus put his time and everything to teach all these guys, but still somebody betrayed him. So you have to know that they're human beings, and what matters is their attitude, their perspective, and where they come from. So there's someone who is out there looking for this opportunity, and if you keep knocking on doors, you're going to get someone. So ignore the rejection rocket, just ignore it. Now, learn to take a no and move to the next. When somebody says no to you, just knock to the next door. When one door is slammed at your face, there is another door that is awaiting for you. And the worst thing is that you keep knocking the same door that has been said no to you. Instead, you can move on to the next door. Don't waste your time. So if you're telling me no. If you're telling me no right now, do it fast. If you're telling me yes, also do it fast, because I got to move to the next. That should always be your attitude. So if you're approaching someone simply to qualify them. So if they're saying no to you, let them say no to you in a faster way. If they're saying yes, let them say yes to you in also a faster way, because you've got to move to the next person. The next person is awaiting. So don't be discouraged, because there are 8 billion people in this planet, and you can keep moving from one door to the next, another door and another door, until one door is opened for you. And anyway, you don't need a lot of successes. You only need to fail 1,000 times and succeed once. That one success is important, just like Thomas Edison. You understand?
Yes.
Good. Now, The key to success in selling lies in the ability to go from no to no without losing enthusiasm. That is where success is found. You know, you have to be measured. That's why people have testimonies, because they have gone through tests. True or not true? You can only have a testimony if you have gone through a test. And people have gone through tests, that's why they have testimonies. And so, the guy who's going to succeed the most is the guy who has taken the most rejections. And you see, most professionals have taken more than 1,000 rejections. There are more than 1,000 people who have rejected you, who have said no to you. But the good thing about this is, as you keep moving forward, as you keep taking the no's, you become stronger. And it doesn't hurt you as time goes on. It might hurt you the first 10 no's, the first 20 no's. They might be very hard on your emotions. But as you keep moving forward, they don't even affect you in any way. So one way you can also do it is you can get used to them. Because when you get used to do something, what happens? You don't feel the impact. You don't feel the effect of the same. So just be a professional at taking the no's. Just learn how to discipline your disappointments and your frustrations. So take the no's and move on to the next one. And know that it is in your ability to move from no to no without losing of enthusiasm that's going to create success to you. I want you to remember this, that people are not buying to your lyrics first. They are buying to your music first. They are buying to the beats of your music. The lyrics are secondary. How many of you know a song, you don't know any lyrics, but you just mumble at the song and the beats of the song? You know that song, Mangi Shale? Nah, you know that song? I don't know what it means, but once it is put on and the beats are up, what happens? I start mumbling on those words of that song. So people don't care what the lyrics is. They don't care the information. They don't care what the right words are. The right words are secondary. They only care about how you say those things. So it's not about what you say, it's about how you say it. What you say comes secondary, but how you say it comes as a primary thing. So your beats are important than the lyrics of your music. So keep your passion and excitement so high. You must always keep a positive mindset. You must always keep a positive attitude all the time. Either you went through a no, you didn't go through a no, you must always stay positive and enthusiastic at all times. So do not carry that rejection or your failure to the next prospect, because some of you might have failed, or one prospect might have told you no, but you think the same prospect, a different prospect or the next prospect is going to also tell you a no. It doesn't happen like that. So you carry the same attitude from the first prospect to the second prospect. So don't let one person ruin the whole presentation. Don't let that one person ruin the next prospect who you're going to have. So they are not going to be the same. They're going to be very different. So if you're rejected in the morning by one prospect, go on through that day with enthusiasm and go and present to the next prospect, because these are different people and they all have different perspectives. You understand? Perfect. Now, if you're excited, they would want to do what you do. If you're fearful and worried, they will not want to do what you do. So as I said, it's about the beat of the music, not the lyrics of the music. The lyrics and the right words are always come secondary. So always be confident and excited, knowing that you have something they need. Your business can change their life, and if they don't see that, it's their loss. If they don't see what you're presenting, they don't see the opportunity that is in what you're telling them, then it's not your loss, it is their loss. Do you understand? Good. Now, the second thing that you should do is always be prepared. Always be what? Always be prepared. And also always prepare the people in your organization, because if you're expecting to be rejected, it has no much pain to you. This is a story that I give. If you are hit by a ball unexpectedly, you feel a lot of pain. But if you are hit by a ball when you're expecting it, or you're expecting to have a redirection of the ball, it feels so nice. There is no any pain. You understand? That's like a rejection. When a bomb of rejection is hit to you, is directed towards you and you are ready, there is nothing that can happen. But when a bomb of rejection is directed to you when you're not prepared, you'll feel a lot of pain, you'll get hurt. So always be prepared. Always know that a no simply means not now, try later. A no means not now, you can try later. You can always use the SW3 rule. And the SW3 rule says that some will, some won't. So what? Move to the next because somebody else is waiting. So some will say yes, some will say no. So what should you do? You should go to the next because somebody else is waiting for you to do a presentation. Somebody else is waiting to see what product or opportunity you have. So always be prepared. Prepare the people in your organization and let them expect it. Have an expectation of somebody to say. So, never have any attachment. Never have any huge expectations on someone because there's nothing you can do about somebody's decision. But there's something you can do about what happens to you. About their decision, there is the way you can react. There is a way you can deal with your own self and know how to handle it. Do you understand? Now, another fear that most people have in our business is fear of looking foolish. And this is a common one to most people. Fear of looking what?
Foolish.
Fear of looking foolish. You fear to look foolish. What does this mean? If you're worried that you might explain the information as well, not as well as the professionals in the business, remember that you know 100% more than what the prospect knows about your company or your opportunity. Some people fear to look foolish because they don't have an idea, because they have incompetence, because they just got started and they don't know how to explain the information, just like Joseph or any other professional in your company explains the information. And so they are worried. But I want you to know that you know 100% more than the prospect. Because between you and this prospect, who knows about the company? You're the one who knows it. So even if you're going to fumble on your presentation, on giving the information, do it, yes, but do it with a lot of pizzazz and confidence. So if you know that you're going to fumble at some point, do it with a lot of pizzazz and confidence. So if you share the facts that you know about the business with a lot of conviction, they will buy in. So some of you think that the new prospect or the person that you're talking to will think that you look foolish or will make fun of you. They won't. Why? Because themselves, they don't have any information. So you're 100% better than what they know. So you're the guy with the information. Now what happens? What should you do when you have a fear of looking foolish? Use third-party tools. Third-party tools always work magic, and they make the facts, be right on point. The third-party tools makes the facts be right on point. If you want to do a presentation, all what you need to do is to pull out your presentation kit, and you can start presenting, and you can just look at what is written there, and you can explain to them, and you can just repeat to them as words. You can have a presentation slide for the same, so you don't need to struggle. So have third-party tools. So if you don't know the answer to their questions, usher in a third-party tool. You can usher in an expert in your company, or you can usher in a website and so many other third-party tools available for you to give them, for them to get answers to their questions. So if they have questions that you cannot answer, what should you do? Redirect them. Show them, tell them to go to this website, tell them to go watch this video. Tell them to go and meet your upline or this expert who has more information on what they are looking for. Do you understand what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Good. So use third-party tools. That's the first thing that you can do. The other people that fear of people making fun of you. This is also a common fear. You fear of people making fun of you. And if you fear someone judging you or making fun of you starting your network marketing business, they call it that pyramid scheme. Do not let their ignorance affect your mood. Some people will make fun of you. I keep giving you guys a story of my cousin. And this is what she used to say. So I started the business, and the first 1 month, she didn't notice any change, but I was still doing the business. But when I bought the first suit, so I was not dressing in a suit. And I mentioned to him the name of the company I was working with. And all what he used to say is, uli ni ule jamaa wa herbals. And kuna kuanga na ile advert ya Mokeo Herbal Clinic. Mnajua ile advert ya Mokeo? So anytime I go into the house, she puts that advert. Nasema ndio mtu wenu. Ananiambia si pia uende kwa TV useme hivi. And anytime I go to, I come to the office every morning, she used to tell me, umeenda kwa Mokeo, tuletea hata dawa pia sisi tu. You understand? That's all that they used to say. because I was trying to explain to them that these products are amazing and it can change their life and they can do this and that. But do you think 5 years fast forward, she can look at my face and say that to me? She cannot, because she's still struggling, probably at the same place as she was 5 years ago. But I'm way more better than who I was 5 years ago. So do not let their ignorance affect your mood. Some of you go further and even start buying into their opinions. Somebody starts explaining to you why they think that this is a pyramid scheme, and that's what they believe. Because do you know what? They don't understand it because they are out there. What is out there? The magazines, the YouTube videos, the negative YouTube videos, the newspaper, and the ice cream on the internet. You know the ice cream on the internet? You know the ice cream that is on the internet? Because the negative news, they trend more than the positive ones. They go far more than the positive ones. And that's what they are watching. They are reading this magazine that is explaining why it's a pyramid scheme. They are watching this amazing video of this amazing guy who looks nice, who is explaining why it's a pyramid scheme. And they're trying to give you that same info. They're trying to transfer that same information to you. That is their ignorance. But they're focusing on the ice cream on the cake, or the icing on the cake, but they have not gone into the cake yet. They have not started eating the cake yet. And they will stay on the icing for a very long time. So our job is to help them discover that there is a cake beneath this ice. Beneath this ice cream that you can see, there is a cake inside it. And who knows the cake? The people who are already in the business. If you know you've done this for some time, like me, I know the sweetness of the cake inside. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Perfect. So remember, you are not foolish going against the grain. They are the ones who are foolish. The real fools are those who are stuck in the grain of mediocrity. Because you changed. The truth is that you took a leap of faith. The truth is that you decided to go a different direction more than what people choose. You decided to choose a path of the minority. And there's nothing bad with that. The fools are the guys who keep doing the same things and they expect different results. They are the people who are insanity. Because when they were rejecting me, when they were telling me this is what I was doing and they were making fun of me, do you know what they were doing in their lives? Absolutely nothing. There's nothing that was happening in their life. There was no change that was happening in their life. They are still in the same job every day, 9 to 5, not making any progress, not having anything, and they're still going to give you financial advice. Please don't take it. The worst advice you can take is advice of a broke man. Never take any financial advice of a broke man, because if they truly had a nice advice, they would use that advice for themselves and they would get richer. But now they are not. And you're seriously listening to the opinion, you let it get to your heart, you let it get to your mind, and you let it affect your mood for the day. Don't let it affect your mood. So fear of looking foolish should not affect anything that you have. It should not affect you moving from one person to the next one. The other fear that most people have, and they don't know that they have, is fear of success. Most people don't recognize that they have fear of success. How many of you know you have fear of success? How many of you are aware that you have fear of success? Okay, you don't know how you have fear of success. Let me show you how you have fear of success. If you care about what your friends, your family, and the people will perceive when you finally get the material gains in the business, then you have fear of success. Most people, they analyze what other people will think of them or what their family and friends will think of them when they finally buy that car, when they finally start dressing well, when they finally start going to vacations, and they know for sure that at that point in time, they are in the same socioeconomic level with them, and they are comfortable, and they can relate, they can have stories. So unajua stories za jaba zinapigwa na mtu mwenye anakula jaba na mwingine mwenye anakula jaba. Haziwezi pigwa na watu wawili wenye wakuli jaba. You understand? So they can relate. So if you're in the same socioeconomic level with them, you can relate and you're comfortable in that socioeconomic state. And so when something suddenly changes, what happens? There's always a divide and there's a sense of separation. There's a divide and a sense of what? Separation. Because suddenly you start not having their time. Suddenly you stop hanging out together. Suddenly you start dressing in a different way than them. Suddenly you're not going to the same places as them. Suddenly you're not going to the same drinking spree as them. So what happens? They start questioning it and you start looking like a weirdo in that group. How many of you have gone through this? I have personally gone through this. And I had to lose a lot of friends. I had to lose a lot. I had to lose a lot of contact with a lot of people before I finally came into terms that I've taken a different direction. They don't understand what direction I've taken, and the choice is mine. So the choice is yours, guys. And when that happens, they'll be looking at you with a little bit of jealousy. But the choice is yours. You can decide to go for it, or you can decide to stay small with them so that you don't make them feel inadequate. The choice is all yours. So you have two choices. You either go for it, or you can stay small with them so that you don't make them feel inadequate. So that is the fear of success. Most people have fear of success. And it's a common fear of success. It's a common type of fear that people have and they don't know that they have. Just mtu akikwambia, when I join, I don't want to be wearing suits. Mm-hmm. Do you know why that comes? Fear of success. Yes. They don't want to post their photo. They don't want to post that they don't want to announce to the world that they are part of this business, or they don't want to, to let them know that this is what they want to do. Because they care about what these people will say. They care what their perceivedness will be, about the attitude will be towards them. So if you care that, then you have fear of success. You have fear of what? Your fear of success. In conclusion, if you want success, you have to develop a no-fear attitude. You have to develop a what? A no-fear attitude. You cannot avoid rejection, but you can look past it. You cannot avoid rejection, but you can look past it. You cannot avoid to look bad at the beginning, but you can keep doing it more times enough to become good. You'll always look bad in the beginning. You'll always look, nobody begins as a master. Everybody begins as a servant. Everybody has their day one. Everybody has their first day when they stand on stage and they do a presentation. Everybody has their first day when they sit down somebody and they start showing the plan. Everybody has that first day. Everybody has a time when they get their first sign-up. Everybody has the first day when they get their first encashment. If there's always a first day, you won't begin as a master. And so the power lies in you keep moving and keeping doing it over and over until you become a professional. We say the professionals are the only people who are being paid in any particular industry. And who is a professional? If you look at aviation, for you to get a commercial flight in aviation, they should verify that you have at least done 10,000 hours on the air on a flight. If you have done 10,000 hours, then they can trust you with a commercial flight. And it takes approximately 10,000 hours of constantly doing something for you to be considered as a professional. It takes approximately 10,000 hours. So if you keep doing it every day for 16 hours a day, you can take approximately 3 years to become a professional. If you do it for 8 hours every day, it's going to take you 6 to 7 years for you to become a professional. If you only do it for 4 hours a day, it's going to take you about 10 to 12 years for you to become a professional. For me, I think it's so stupid for someone to quit after their first 90 days of failure while they have been in school for over 16 years and they're barely not making anything. You understand? But after 90 days of them being in business, now they quit. If you are to become a doctor today or any other professional, is it going to take you 90 days for you to seek success. Some education and some learning takes even 4 to 5 years before even you start reaping the rewards of that same profession. But in network marketing, you keep making money as you learn. They can pay you as you're making the mistakes. As you keep trying the skills, as you keep trying whatever you're learning, what happens? They still keep paying you, even during your learning curve, even during your learning period, during your learning years, they keep paying you. You understand? But if you're going to become a surgeon or a doctor or any other or a lawyer, you have to go to school for 4, 5, 6 years for you to become a professional. And after that, now they give you the papers and they tell you that now you can go and start making money from the investment that you put in here. What's the investment that you put in network marketing? Investment in yourself. Just that. But if you go to becoming a lawyer, you invest millions of money, you go into student loan. But what happens at the end of the day? It takes you years and years to pay back that loan. Hello? Do you understand what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Good. Now, if you have friends or family members or people around you who will choose to be complacent and stubborn, ignore them. What I can advise you to do is to reduce your interaction with them. Reduce your interaction with them. Cut on the many hours that you get to spend with them. And when you reduce your interaction with them, there will be less effect. Because one way you can counter all these fears is spending time with the same warriors who you are with in the same fight or in the same company and in the same business. If you get to spend more time with them, you get to get that law of attraction. You get to be like them. Do you understand? So you can limit your interaction with them. You will probably have friends or family members who will always discourage you. You'll have this uncle or this cousin or this guy who you truly believe that this guy has good advice or is very good and I can listen to this guy. But you can limit your interaction with them because at the end of the day, you need to pursue your dream. You need to go after that, the dream that you have. The no fear zone is where you need to live. The house that you should be living in is called the no fear zone. That is a beautiful house that you can build for yourself. Because if you live this life with fear, you don't have a much of things to gain. So you should be able to look past your fears. You should be able to overcome your fears. You should be able to know how to deal with the fears that are around, that are surrounding the profession that you are in. So you know where you are going. True or not true? You know where you're going. So charge forward boldly and with a lot of confidence. Charge forward bravely and boldly. Be sure of what you are doing. That's why I tell most people, if you are 50-50 in this business, you won't succeed. You can't be 50-50. You can't be one leg in, one leg outside. It's impossible. You either have to be in or out, and you're the person who makes that decision. Most people take 1 year, others take a lot of time for them to actually make a decision they want to do the business. They joined. They did not start doing the business, they just joined. And those are two different things. Do you know that we can be going to the same church, being in the same religion, but still have different faiths? Do you know that? Yes. We can be going in the same gym, get trained by the same person, lift the same weights, but have different bodies, but have different results. Why? Beliefs, the decisions that you have made. So it's not about having the resources, it's about being resourceful. And as I said, the success is more within than it is without. More success happens within you, not outside you. Because there's a famous quote in Bible that says, if the enemy is not within, the enemy outside has no harm. So you're always your enemy, and the mountain is always you. So stop working against yourself, because that's what most people do. So to encourage you, I've written a little something for you. Where is it? So let me read it aloud so you can hear it. Sawa? Forgive my notepad. It's an expensive one. I took time to buy this notepad. Listen. Sawa? Be careful. So our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frighten us. We ask ourselves, whom am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, or fabulous. Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God, and you are the highest form of God's creation. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not in some of us, it is in everyone. And as we let our light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. So if you don't have fear, if you are courageous enough, if you want to go after your dreams, you allow others to also go after their own dreams. So do not fear. Know that you are the highest form of God's creation, and you are given dominion over the birds of the air, the fish of the sea, every livestock, and every creeping creature that creepeth the earth. And if you have that power within you, and you're not making use of that power, and you're letting others define who you are, because you said limitations are the ones that you set for yourself, or the ones that you allow others to set them for you. So if you don't allow others to set for you those limitations, then you're good to go. Then you can look past your fears. Then you can grow past your comfort zone. So as you say, no more. The theme of today is no more.
Fear.
No more fear. I want you to repeat after me. No more.
Fear.
No more.
Fear.
No more.
Fear.
Because there is nothing to fear in this business. You have a lot to offer. They need this. They need you to succeed. And so keep showing the business. Keep knocking from one door to the next one. Because at the end of the day, you're going to have someone liking and knowing and understanding your product and what you do. You're finally going to have a downline who understands the business and they want to build it with you. You're finally going to have someone understand it and they want to pay and get started into the business. That person is finally going to be there. But the fact that you don't move from one person to another and you keep procrastinating or you stop presenting or you get discouraged, you're never going to find that person until you keep moving and keep moving. Tumeelewana? Yes. Do you understand?
Yes.
Good. Thank you so much. I'm hoping you enjoyed the whole session and you learned something. Is it true?
Yes.
Perfect. See you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.